Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm surprised it's taken this long to nerf One-Eye Mask. But the way Bungie did it was about as perfect as you could possibly do it. Now, I've seen Bungie drop the ball on a number of exotics, and I'm not gonna go into those exotics. Let's just say that there's been some exotics that could have been tweaked just slightly, and Bungie has gone just balls deep in them and nerfed them to hell and back. We were all concerned about One-Eye Mask getting that same treatment. Now, since Sandbox 2.2 has gone live, we've dived back into Crucible and competitive no less to see how the new One-Eye Mask is handling this nerf. So right off the bat, guys, in the patch notes, it states that the mark duration has been reduced from 15 seconds to 8 seconds. It also says that health no longer restores automatically, but restores alongside the overshield. And a big one here is that it can no longer be triggered while in your super. Now, the reason why I say that's a big one, there's some classes that, of course, you could utilize for its health return benefits, especially in your super. A lot of that, though, especially last season and the season before, was just getting outright bypassed because One-Eye Mask already gave you that health regeneration, so there really wasn't any need to rock those certain subclasses. So let's dive back into One-Eye Mask, guys, and take a look at its intrinsic perk called Vengeance. It marks the enemies that dares to damage you. Now again, that's not even an enemy that actually lands a shot on you. This is an enemy that just looks at you, and I believe they actually have to be aiming at you or in your general direction in order for them to now become marked. It used to last 15 seconds, now it only lasts 8 seconds. I 100% believe that's a justifiable nerf. 15 seconds, guys. It's a long time. And so cutting it down to 8 seconds, I think is completely okay. It doesn't ruin this exotic, and it pushes you as a Titan to be aggressive. You can't just sit there and wait for your health to come completely back if you want to take advantage of those marking capabilities. Now, upon killing that enemy, you do gain Vengeance, which does increase our damage and give you an overshield. But the way it worked before was the moment you got the kill, your health would immediately come back, like Devour come back. And then you would see the overshield start to regenerate, and it'll go all the way to max if you don't take any type of damage in between that span. Now, with the most recent changes, health regeneration doesn't immediately pop up to full max. It regenerates with the overshield. So you do get health regeneration, but it only regenerates at the same speed as the overshield. So you can't just run in there and ape your balls off. You gotta be somewhat tactical in how you move around the map, snag kills if you want to take advantage of that overshield in between engagements. Now, Vengeance, the damage buff that you get, that's immediate. You can immediately be taking advantage of that as soon as you get a kill and it procs. Now, with these changes, is One-Eye Mask a garbage exotic? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, what this nerf underlines for me was how powerful One-Eye Mask actually was. And believe me, I knew it was powerful, which is why I never really used it much outside of maybe a few times when we were doing builds. I did use it in competitive, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt dirty as hell with it. The way the exotic works now, if you're not an aggressive player, if you're not a good shot, if you're not getting the push, the flank, the kill, especially when you see Vengeful on your screen, you will never be able to take advantage of this exotic. And this may surprise you, there's a lot of players that won't be able to take advantage of this. And it's not to say that they're bad players, they just don't have the playstyle that One-Eye Mask is trying to present. And One-Eye Mask definitely is trying to present an aggressive playstyle. It wants you to get into people's faces, it wants you to get into duels, and the only way to take advantage of this exotic is if you win those duels. So we made that previous statement with One-Eye Mask before, like way back in September, but it's way more apparent now since the changes. So guys, One-Eye Mask, I don't think it's an exotic for everyone. It may not be your go-to exotic. It's 100% a top tier exotic still, but I know for sure there's going to be players that are going to drift away from it and start using a few other things, especially considering that it doesn't proc while in your super. But for my aggressive players, for my guys that really like to push, that can win duels and want to continuously be aggressive throughout the match, One-Eye Mask is still an excellent option for you. I'm personally happy that One-Eye Mask did receive a nerf, and not because I support nerfs. In a perfect and ideal world inside of Destiny, everything that's ever proposed to us would immediately be balanced and viable, but that's not always the case. But us Titan mains, we need to admit something to ourselves. The exotic diversity that we had was getting stale. Everybody was using One-Eye Mask constantly. Here in this past week, I've started to see more Dune Marchers on people that wanted that extra bump in speed. Syntheseps is also still an excellent option for people, and I see more people using that. Antaeus Wards is making a comeback. We will be testing that one as well. No lie, that's like a sleeper exotic. I haven't said anything yet, but we're probably about to blow the cover on Antaeus. So for those that are actually using it, enjoy enjoy it while you can. In terms of exotic diversity there, I'm glad to see these changes go into place and starting to see more Titan exotics being used. So overall, guys, the exotic nerf to One-Eye Mask, nothing too crazy. It essentially does everything that it used to do. It's just not as nasty as it was. So good on Bungie for not outright killing this exotic. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.